Watching the world's best golfers make unbelievable plays have long inspired and motivated golf fans from all over the globe. Sure, historic moments on the course are all thanks to the actual golfers putting their skills on display, but for all of us at home watching those moments unfold, they are accompanied by some of the greatest broadcasters to ever touch the mic. It's their commentary that makes these moments so iconic, so in this video, we're going to be taking a look at the greatest broadcast calls in golf history. Gary Koch, the 2001 Players Championship. Tiger Woods' better than most putt is one of the most famous putts in golf history, and also one of the most famous calls of a putt by a broadcaster.
Better than most. How about in? That is better than most. Better than most!
We know this moment as the better than most putt because that's the phrase NBC Sports broadcaster and former PGA Tour player Gary Koch used 3 times to describe the putt as the ball made its way towards the hole, his voice rising each time with dramatic effect. The putt happened at the 2001 Players Championship on the famous Island Green number 17 hole at TPC Sawgrass. Woods was at 9 under par before the putt, tied for second place with Vijay Singh, 3 shots behind the leader Jerry Kelly. Many fans believe that the putt actually happened in the final round, which propelled Woods to victory, but it didn't. The putt was actually done in the 3rd round. The putt is usually described as 60 feet in length. However, the PGA Tour record book listed the longest putt made on the 17th hole as 59 feet 9 inches by Bernard Langer in 2008. So Woods' better than most putt started from the fringe, and because of this, it was not on the putting surface and does not technically qualify to be counted as a putt under the tour's official stat keeping methods. Jim Nantz, the 2004 Masters. Mickelson had just drained a 10-foot birdie putt on the 72nd hole of the Masters, a putt that ended a day-long duel with England's Lee Westwood and earned him a 3rd fitting for a green jacket. "One for the family," Jim Nantz told a television audience as the ball rolled into the hole. It was an unusual Masters week with so much focus on the return of Tiger Woods and what he has done to his image and his family with the serial infidelity. But it ended with a reminder that families can offer strength in times of adversity. Amy Mickelson was diagnosed with breast cancer just after the Masters in the previous year, and the treatment and recovery process had been a challenge. Always a fixture at her husband's tournaments, this was the first time she had been in public since the diagnosis. When Mickelson made his final putt and headed for the back of the green, the cheers weren't just for winning the Masters, but for a family that had battled the scare of cancer that so many other families face. It's clear that this moment wasn't just about golf. Vern Lundquist, the 2005 Masters. Tiger Woods won his 4th Masters tournament in 2005, and in the final round, he hit what was arguably the most iconic shot of his career. On the 16th hole in the final round, Woods sank a chip shot from the rough while battling for the lead, with the ball hanging on the edge of the hole before falling in. In an interview with Golf Digest, Tiger's caddy Steve Williams revealed some details behind the shot that made it look even more incredible. Williams says Tiger was aiming for an old ball mark the size of a dime and that he hit it perfectly on the fly. There's more to that Tiger hole out than you probably know. After Tiger inspected the green and was walking back to his ball, he pointed out an old ball mark on the green. It was the size of a dime, almost fully healed, practically invisible. He said, "You think if I hit that spot, it'll take the slope without going into the bunker?" I told him I liked that play. He then hit the old ball mark exactly from 20 feet away from a tough lie. That ball went in the hole was sort of a miracle, but hitting the old ball mark on the fly was one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. CBS commentator Lanny Watkins called it one of the toughest pitches on the entire course and speculated that because of the thicker rough sitting just behind Tiger's ball, he would have had a hard time getting the ball within 15 feet of the hole. Woods got the ball up in the air, it landed on the hill, slowly rolled down to the hole where it rested on the edge for just a moment, and then of course fell in for a birdie with commentator Vern Lundquist yelling, "Oh wow." Vin Scully, the 1978 Masters was the scene of one of the most extraordinary victories in the history of the tournament. which on that occasion was celebrating its 44th anniversary. The star was Gary Player, making one of the most amazing comebacks in a major. He began that day 7 shots behind leader Hubert Green, with 9 players ahead of him on the leaderboard and tied with 4 others, including Seve Ballesteros. Gary Player, 42 years old at the time, had won the major twice in 1961 and then again in 1974, and he came to Augusta National in top form. The first day he carted a par and shared an 8th place tie with Jack Nicklaus, 4 strokes behind the leader. On the second day, Player repeated the result and lost a few positions, but was still within 5 strokes of the co-leaders. The third round was more fruitful for Gary Player, shooting a 69, getting him 3 under overall and the 10th place overall spot. Then, of course, the decisive day arrived. 18 holes to decide who would take the Masters glory and a $45,000 check as champion. After a solid but nothing special front 9 with 3 birdies and a bogey, Gary Player displayed the magic of his A-grade game and carded birdies on the 12th and 13th before repeating the feat on the 15th and 16th and finishing the job with another birdie on 18. He finished that back 9 shooting 30 for an 8 under 64. He had holed 7 putts between 3 and 10 meters, and with an overall total of 11 under, he had to wait 40 minutes in the clubhouse until the other matches were over. And of course, Vin Scully was a huge part of this legendary moment, as you can hear him cheering yes for Gary Player as Gary sinks that last birdie putt. Ben Wright and Bob Murphy. Not only does the 1986 Masters deserve strong consideration as the greatest golf tournament ever played, it should rank highly on any qualified list of the top sporting events in American history. Beyond Jack Nicklaus's heroic charge to a 6th career victory at Augusta National, the storyline is enriched by several crucial components that happened over that Sunday afternoon. All would combine to provide the depth and immeasurable drama that made Nicklaus's final major title an unforgettable one. Watching this final round's telecast, one easily can get the sense that it simply was meant to be. Jack Nicklaus piled up 6 birdies and an eagle over the last 10 holes that day. If Seve Ballesteros hadn't hooked a relatively routine approach into the water at the par 5 15th, and if Greg Norman didn't send his second shot deep into the gallery right of the 18th green, and then if Tom Kite had gotten 1 putt to fall instead of repeatedly burning edges down the stretch, this Jack Nicklaus win may have never happened on April 13th, 1986. During the closing stages of the 86 Masters, CBS analysts served up at least a half a dozen lines, every bit as memorable regardless of how many people actually remember them. "Oh yes sir, the battle is joined," Ben Wright said after Nicklaus rolls in the pivotal 12-footer for eagle on 15.
Yes sir!
"My goodness, there's life in the old bear yet. Magnificent stuff," he also said. At that point, things began to heat up, as you can hear Bob Murphy say, "The bear is stalking," amping up and hyping up this moment even more after Nicklaus holes a 20-foot putt for birdie on 10 to reach 4 under, which made him 4 shots behind Ballesteros, who just eagled on 8. "Come on, Jack, smile," Murphy adds. "That's it, we won't count him out on the back 9, and he was right to say that because this was an unbelievable comeback for Jack Nicklaus.
And the bear is stalking. Come on, Jack, smile. That's it.
Robert Wren, the 1997 Phoenix Open. In one of the most iconic shots in PGA history, not as much for the feat itself, but for the celebration that ensued. After Tiger Woods' hole-in-one on the par 3 16th hole on the Saturday of the 1997 Phoenix Open, there were the missed high fives, the beer showering the tee box, the raise the roof by Woods as he walked from the tee to the green, and of course that wall of noise that lasted from the moment he hit his shot until after he picked his ball up out of the cup. Robert Wren, who was the on-course reporter for ESPN, started following Woods around the 6th hole. As soon as the group got to the 16th hole, Wren describes that moment as follows. "Simply because there's very little area back there for an announcer to stand, and if I'm going to talk in a normal tone of voice, your voice is kind of trapped there. It's got nowhere to go, and so I can't even call the shot unless I fade out 30 seconds ahead of time. So I get up to the tee and kind of see what's going on, verify my numbers, and I get on down the fairway and get up to the green so that I can talk in a normal tone of voice and not worry about disturbing them. It was one of those where the ball is in the air and I had a little bit of a chill going down my spine because I'm watching this shot and I'm a little bit offline from watching it come down directly. But once he hit the shot, of course, everybody up at the tee TV is already going crazy because we knew it was on a pretty good line. And from my angle, I'm thinking this is not just on a pretty good line, but it looks like it's about the right distance. And Wren's direct quote from the broadcast was, "Oh, it went in." Clearly everybody could see that, but at the same time, it actually absolutely shocked me, like it did everybody else, that it went in.
It went in!
Thanks for watching our video. If you haven't yet, drop us a like, leave us a comment, and if you're looking for more golf content, don't forget to subscribe.